what day it is anymore. Oh, it's Monday. Mondays are awesome. No, not really. So I thought, why not make a YouTube video? It's been a while. I don't know what I want to talk about. I want to talk about loneliness. I want to talk about friendship. I want to talk about love. I want to talk about letting go. I want to talk about happiness. I want to talk about self love and feminism, um, which is just, you know, equal rights, but I like calling it feminism. um, I want to talk about happiness. Did I say happiness already? I want to talk about depression. It's funny that I thought of depression just as I said happiness. That's disturbing. Um, what should we talk about? Okay, I've got it. Let's talk about the difference between self acceptance and self love. Where do we start? Okay, here's how it works. There is a huge difference between self love and self acceptance. Most people tend to confuse the two, which is why they don't realize what the fuck they're doing. And I'm gonna tell you which one's which. And then usually people think they love themselves, but they really don't. What you're doing is just accepting who you are, because to survive, to live, you have to accept yourself the way you are. If you didn't, you try to eliminate the things that you don't like. And maybe that would even be yourself. So the moment you try to eliminate yourself, you would die, because that's called suicide. Which is why I say that no matter who you are, you're always self accepting. You could be doing the worst of things in your life, but you accept yourself the way you are. Suppose people that smoke and drink. Well, I drink. When you hurt someone else's feelings, when you think you're being a terrible human being, when you steal, when you lie, when you think you're not living up to your abilities, when you stay too long in an abusive relationship, when you are abusive in a relationship, when you're okay with domestic violence, when you let people force you into doing things, when you hang on to someone who hurts you, even though you should let them go, when when you know that someone's not right for you and you shouldn't be with them, but you still decide to stay, all of that. I know you may think that you tend to be with these people who are hurting you and are toxic for you. You think that you're with them because you probably love them too much, or you love them more than you love yourself, and that's kind of true. I remember I was with someone who told me that I love them more than they love me, and that really made me think about it, that do I really love that person more than they love me? Is it love? Do I love them more than I love myself? Because I'm dealing with a lot of shit that I shouldn't, that nobody should. And then eventually, it struck me, it really hit me. I realized that it's not the love for that person that made me stay, it was lack of love for myself. And that's very ironic and very interesting if you go to think about it, because a lot of times you think that you're with someone because you really love them, even though they abuse you, or physically abuse you, or harass you and give you pain and suffering. And when you still stay in a relationship, you tend to think that it must be love. Why else would I stay with this person if I wasn't crazily in love with them? But it's not. It's lack of love for yourself. You don't actually love this person. You just don't love yourself enough. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't put up with it. you are attached to someone else because you're probably needy and you think that you're not enough for you, which is terrible. It's really, really sad. There's a thing that Sadhguru once said, which was, if you cannot be in your own company when you're alone and if you're unhappy, then that means you're just terrible company. I mean, if you're not happy on your own, then how do you expect someone else to be happy when they're with you? You need to love yourself. Putting yourself through shit, having a really crap lifestyle, being depressed, and knowingly being depressed, doing drugs, or usually when you put up with things that you're not supposed to, things that make you sad. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't do those things. If you loved yourself, you would walk away from pain. If you loved yourself, you would say no to people that don't deserve you. If you loved yourself, you'd be okay on your own. We all want someone to love and to be with, but that shouldn't be needy. Just because you want to end up with someone doesn't mean that you put up with shit. That's not love. And I think it's about time that so many men and women realize that you're not in a relationship which is toxic and abusive and threatening and sad because you love the other person. It's just because you don't love yourself. You've accepted yourself. Stop thinking that self-acceptance is self-love. Without self-acceptance, you wouldn't be alive, because we all accept ourselves. That's how you wake up every morning and you get on with things that you have to do, because you accept yourself. You may not like things about you, but you're living with yourself, which is called self-acceptance. If you smoke, you've accepted that you smoke. You may want to quit, but you've accepted that as of now you're a smoker. If you're in an abusive relationship, you've accepted that this person is terrible to you. And when you're not leaving, then you've clearly accepted it. Self-acceptance is not hard. Self-acceptance is very easy. You can choose not to forgive yourself for things that you've done, but you can still just accept who you are. But that's not love. You can't go around saying that I love myself because, look, I'm okay with what I'm doing, or I love myself because I love you. That's bullshit. If you're with someone who treats you like shit, then you just need to sit down, evaluate how you feel, why you feel. Anybody that puts up with shit from someone else just lacks love for themselves. And I mean, nobody can tell you how you can change that. I don't know what it is that you hate about yourself. It could be something to do with your childhood. It could be something super subconscious. It doesn't have to be as simple as, I don't love myself because I'm, my complexion, or I don't love myself because of the way I look. It's not as simple as that. Sometimes it's about your childhood. Sometimes it's about your parents. Sometimes it's about the kind of upbringing you've had, or whether you've been raised by one or two parents, and which one, and how have they been. And not because they've been bad, but sometimes, you don't end up loving yourself because you feel like there is this massive void of another kind of love that you could have had. It could be a mother's or a father's. It could be anything, really. It could be both your parents. It could be a lot of bullying in school. It could be a lot of things that could have happened to you, especially as a child, because that's when your foundation is being built. That's when you are being molded. You're like clay, and there are too many things that are happening to you when you're a kid, and those are the things that shape up who you are today. So as a guy, you could have mommy issues. As a girl, you could have daddy issues. You could have a lot of things. Those are the most common reasons why people don't love themselves, because they've either been bullied, they have a single parent, or parents that fight a lot but are together. Probably been physically harassed as a child, or abused. Those are like the stereotype problems that most people have. But eventually it's only you that can help yourself. Nobody else can. And I think the only way to start self-help is with self-love. Why is it that you feel really, really nice when someone else makes you feel good about yourself, when someone pampers you and treats you like you're special? Because love can literally solve anything. And if another human being's love can make you feel so good, then imagine how amazing love would feel when it's coming right from here. You need to love yourself. You need to pamper yourself. You need to go out for dinner dates and lunch dates with yourself. You need to buy yourself nice things and spend some quality time and look after your health and say no to bullshit. Walk away from toxic relationships. Don't let people treat you badly. These are things that you need to do for yourself. It's not like I'm perfect. It's not like I don't indulge in a lot of these toxic things. I do, but the trick is to constantly keep reminding yourself to walk away from it. I mean, just because you love yourself doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. Of course you will. But if you keep telling yourself that this is not who I am, this is not what I want to do, I want to be happy, I don't deserve this, I deserve better. If these are the things that you tell yourself every time you're in that situation where you're getting weak and you are being a doormat, I think you should be fine. You'll be good to go and you'll be happier. So, for all the girls, especially who send me these messages every day saying, he won't let me go out with my friends, what should I do? Should I leave him? Or he's really mean to me, or he insults me, he abuses me, he tells me what to wear. And so many of you every day send me these messages saying, I don't know what to do. I love him so much, but he's just left me and he doesn't love me anymore. Where am I going wrong? Where are you going wrong? I would say by still being in that relationship, by even asking me what should you do, because you don't need to be with someone who doesn't want to be with you. You don't need to put up with things that make you miserable. You don't need to be with a guy who doesn't love you at all. You shouldn't have to fight for it. You shouldn't have to really every day cry and call and do all those things, because if you loved yourself, you'd just be like, fuck this, I can love myself, I don't need someone else to do it. And eventually, when the time is right, someone will. You won't have to force it. That's how it's supposed to be. People will always tell you that all this drama around your relationship is normal because that's how they think it's supposed to be, but it's not. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be happy, and it's supposed to be stable, and it's supposed to be, of course there's ups and downs, but it's not supposed to be toxic. It's not supposed to be abusive. So, all the best.